In this first video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some background as to who I am, what my past is in terms of as a door-to-door canvasser, the success that I've had, and what I've done from a training perspective so that it could benefit, may benefit some of you who are either canvassing or some of you who are marketing directors and marketing managers and assistant managers in helping your canvassers increase their productivity. That's the objective behind this, because if you increase your productivity, of course, there's a possibility that we'll get to see each other face to face or deal with each other face to face. My background is one where I began knocking on doors approximately 9 years ago. And in knocking on doors, my first time out, I was terrified. I knocked on doors to set appointments for insulation to be sold in a retrofit fashion for the particular contractor. It was a small contractor, but in even being a small contractor, it was probably one of the larger contractors over a period of time than most other insulation contractors in Southern California, Orange County. I won't mention the name of the company, even though the owners are very good, dear friends of mine. I won't mention their name, unless, of course, at some point in time that they see this video and choose for me to do so. You'll see that in further videos. But I was terrified. I walked up to my first house, and being Orange County and a man of color, the ratio of African Americans, of people of darker complexions, was probably somewhere, at least in my estimation, about 1 or 2% of the population. And so when I knocked on the door, very high Hispanic community, the housing range was basically on the low end. I blurted out a few things, and at the end of the day, after knocking on a few doors, some appointments were set for a closer to come in behind me and talk about the insulation for their home from a retrofit perspective. Now, again, my first time really knocking on doors in Southern California. I'd knocked on doors prior to in my younger years, but nothing quite like this. But at either rate, the appointments were set, and we worked on a Saturday, and as a result of working on that Saturday for about 2 or 3 hours, there were approximately 4 appointments set, and out of those 4 appointments set on that Saturday, 3 of those sold. We came back out on the Sunday, and we set another 4 appointments, and out of those 4 appointments set, 3 of those sold. As far as my script or me saying the right things, I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't say the right things. I didn't do the right things. I was simply scared, and I simply got out in front of the people. I had no real idea. There was no script given to me. I blurted out whatever it was that I needed to blurt out in order to get an appointment set. I did a lousy job at it, but an appointment was actually set. And yet and still, we're talking about 75% of the appointments that were set were actually sold. When I began to evaluate how much money that I'd actually made just from that weekend, which was approximately $4,000 in payable commissions, I was absolutely shocked. I said, wow, you mean to tell me that I can take 2 days out of my week and set some appointments and make more money than I was making working on a 9-to-5, 5-day-a-week type job situation? I got real excited. Especially because of the fact that I hadn't a clue in terms of what I was doing in terms of setting those appointments. And so with that being said, you can have success if you're a canvasser knocking on doors without having a lot of technique and a lot of skill and things of that nature. But if you do enhance your technique and skill, what you're going to do is you're going to find out that you're going to have more success than what you would if you didn't have technique and skill. And if you take this business from the perspective that I did, which was starting out as a canvasser and then move into becoming a closer and also a project manager over an insulation job, then you'll be able to get into a situation where you'll be able to make substantially more money, and then you're going to want to be a lot more effective. But that's the general basis on how I got started in this business. And so in my next video, I want to take it just a little bit further to help you understand some of the things that I began to understand once I began to do it for a period of time that assisted me and being in a situation where, as an assistant manager of canvassing, I was able to manage a crew whereby we did 2/3 of of one particular company's production with only approximately 20% of the workforce. Because there's some basic things that you want to know about that, and that's some of what we'll talk about in this next video. Will be how you want to advance in your career and become effective at what you're doing, and some things that I've learned along the way in terms of how to do that just from a general perspective on knocking doors. I won't become technical, so I'll see you in the next video.